How are you guys doing today? My name is Walter Matthews. I am the host of my podcast called Skyway Bound Presents. And today I'm just going to give you, we'll consider this in kind of an introductory. I didn't really start off with one. I just started off with my first podcast with you, Grow, which was great. But it dawned on me I should spend a few minutes and share with you guys kind of, a little bit about me and a little bit why I entered this world of social entrepreneurship and where I'm headed and what I hope to gain out of this, of course. So who am I? Well, I am a recently retired naval aviator / public affairs officer from the United States Navy, of course. I am actually an Auburn graduate. I've been blessed to be a San Diego State graduate, recently a University of Tampa graduate, and a Hillsborough Community College welding certificate recipient. And I'm very proud of all of that. I'm probably most proud of the welding certificate because it's probably the most useful out of all of those degrees that I've gotten. But I've had a good time along the way. I spent 20 years in the Navy. I was blessed to learn how to fly. My flying career ended sooner than I really wanted it to. It wasn't my choice, but that's okay. I mean, it really forced me to grow up, if you will. Forced me to work with other people outside of my community a lot quicker. Because in public affairs, you're never the expert on all the operational stuff, and you really need to rely on all the other departments to really help you get the right messages out to the American public. And the correct and accurate, of course. So I'm just going to go into my story. I'll try to keep it short, but essentially when I retired from the military, I think it was 2015. I'm getting old, so I can't remember anything anymore. I enrolled in the University of Tampa to pursue my MBA, and I actually started working for a startup company. I asked a friend, hey, I wanted to see what it was like, because I've always had aspirations to own my own business or start something. And so it was great. I worked part-time while going to school. I worked at a small startup, a small tech company. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about just the types of people that go into the startup world. And it's a lot of people from many different walks of life, many different reasons. They all get their different reasons, but once they're there, they are focused. They are focused on making things happen in the startup world. The startup world can be as accelerated as any military contingency operation, if you will, but in a different way, of course. So going to school, halfway through school, my initial thoughts was I was gonna get my MBA, maybe do a dual major in finance or something. I was interested in maybe learning about the financial world. But halfway through, I ended up participating in a social entrepreneurship prize called the Holt Prize. Total random invitation from one of my fellow students. And that really started accelerating me down the roads towards social entrepreneurship. Participated in the Holt Prize with a great team. I still keep in touch with most of the team members. We did not win, but I learned so much from that experience. It really opened my eyes to just that if I want to start a business, just do it. And so at that point, I started an LLC, and that's a whole other story that I'll get into in a different day, maybe when we have more time. But 1 second here, let me make sure I get a clock going so I don't bore you guys for an hour. So anyway, it got me going down the road of social entrepreneurship. And I'd say about halfway through, I decided I was going to do it. By the time I got to the end of my graduate education, my MBA, I was like, I am fully doing it. And I totally 100% jumped. I don't have a plan B. It's got to work. It's got to work. So that's kind of where I'm at these days. So I started doing some research, and I started thinking about things that I was really interested in and things that I missed. I really missed the aviation community. I personally, for fun, as a hobby, like to dance Argentine tango just for fun. And then, of course, I'm a man of faith. I attend church every Sunday, and I have a heart for kind of missionary kind of ventures, or at least supporting them and being part of them. And so, as I was doing my research, I learned that there's this coming demand for pilots and for workers in general in the aviation industry. And so that started me down this road, this entrepreneurial road of one, learning how to be an entrepreneur, and two, trying to find where I'm going to fit within this industry that I would like to return to. And so that's what I've been doing the past few years. And along the way, so at the beginning, I started by myself. The cool thing about this journey is that I've met people, so many different people along the way, and it's taken me a while to really understand it. But even the transactional people, I am so blessed that I have met them, even if it was just for that brief minute. Everybody that I've met, good or bad, they've given me one piece, one nugget of something that is helping me progress down my journey. And I'm very grateful for all the people that I've met up to this point. What am I doing now? Well, I am working with a small group of guys to figure out, I don't want to upset the aviation industry, but we're trying to figure out how to bring down the costs for high schoolers, to get at minimal, get their private pilot's license. And there's a variety of ways of which I'm not really ready to share yet, but I will here in the near future that we're looking to do that. And I will share my big dream. My big dream is that, I want to use technology that already exists to at least help them get kids' minds in the game, things that they're already doing, using off-the-shelf technology to help people get their minds in the game before we get them in the cockpit, but do it in a way that's systemized and executed, that it brings down the cost, especially for students. So we can complain all day that the industry is hurting for people, but if nobody's working to bring down the cost and finding ways to incentivize future workers, well, we're going to keep complaining. So let the chips fall where they may, but I'm doing my small part. So what I've learned a lot of things along the way. So I'm going to get to the end here. My advice, I've got some advice for my fellow, or those who are aspiring to become or jump into the world of entrepreneurship. I have learned to make mistakes on a budget. So right now I have no cash flow. I just throw it out there so you guys can all judge me now. I have no cash flow, but I am finding ways to lower my budget, lower my costs to where I still am surviving on some peanuts that I've saved up. But I'm finding ways to make mistakes on budgets. I'm learning the basic business processes. I'm layering in my personal business processes. For example, my basic social media processes. I've got that systemized to where social media posts on their own. I pre-plan, I set aside time throughout the week for things to be posted on their own. But I've systemized it to where I don't have to think about it all the time. I don't have to worry about it every second of the day. And that's just one example of the ways I'm trying to systemize and put little processes in place. But there are a lot of free tools out there that you can use to help you kind of run your life as a business. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is run my life as a business. So now as I scale into the business model that's going to take me to wherever I want to be, those processes on a lower level are in place. And hopefully at that point, when I'm starting to scale, now it's me just handing a folder over to somebody and signing their paycheck, and they're going to help me build out that piece that I've already established. Don't be afraid to start small. I do have big dreams, but yes, I talk about my big dreams, but I understand that you have to start with the very basics. I am actually doing small things right now to move me down the path of achieving my dream. Part of that dream is to start a flight school, if you will. I am actually working on my certified flight instructor, studying for the written exam, and then I've already got one or two instructors already lined up, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I'm doing little things that I can every little day, even if it's only a few minutes a day. Some days you feel tired, but I do something every day to move me down that path. So I look forward to sharing updates as we continue together down this journey. I'm very excited about that. But that's another piece of advice I give people is just don't be afraid to start small. Just make some small mistakes. You can make them on a budget. There's a lot of free tools that you can practice, and just systematically start to essentially build the life. I mean, you hear motivational speakers talk about this all the time. Build the life that you want. Build the life that you want. Well, here I am. I'm not a millionaire, billionaire, or gazillionaire, but I'm doing little things to kind of build the life that I want. Something where I enjoy going to work every day, and then doing something that makes a difference, and hopefully, potentially in the future, disrupting a whole industry by doing some things that people aren't doing today. And then lastly, this one's very important. I come from the corporate environment. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of good people out there, and they don't mean to be jerks, or maybe they do. But there are a lot of dream killers out there. Just be aware, and don't be afraid to walk away. Walk away from dream killers, even if it's long-time family members or friends. Sometimes you just come to a point in a relationship where it's time for you to go in a different direction, especially when you have a dream. If you really, truly, or passionately believe in that dream, go for it. What have you got to lose? All people can do to you is all they can do is say no. So that's it. That's my advice in a nutshell. Just do it. Just get out there and do something. Do anything, even if it's 5 minutes a day, something towards your goal. And you'll get there. You'll get there in due time. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to the Facebooks, the Microsofts, the Googles. Especially if you're an older person like me. I'm an old guy. So, obviously I'm not sitting in a dorm room dropping out of school to build $1 billion company. I would have loved if that would happen, but didn't happen. Ain't going to happen now. But I'm doing something now. You can do something now. Start now. Start with anything. Start small. It can happen. So that's all I have for you today. But my customary closing, I like to encourage you, if you have any thoughts or concerns or feedback about the show, you want to share something with us, contact us at social, SOCIAL, at skywaybound.com. You can connect with us on Facebook. We have a page called Skyway Bound Presents, just exactly the name of the show. And, that's it. I thank you for listening. Until next time, I always encourage people, don't stop pursuing your dreams. I underestimated the journey at the beginning, but I truly, truly understand it. And the road is long. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be many ups and downs, but if you really believe in it, do not quit, do not quit, do not quit, because the sky's the limit. I believe in you, and I sincerely believe that you can do it. So have a great day, and we'll see you next time.